Hello everybody! Today I will tell you about wireless charging. So what is wireless charging? Wireless charging is a charging technique that allows to charge a device without connecting to a wire. It is less efficient and slower than the regular way to charge stuff, but we pay extra for that because it's cool. And also here are two unnecessary pictures of phones charging wirelessly that I drew. The science behind wireless charging is that it works by transferring energy using electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction, I'm going to explain in a second. So let's say you have the newest pineapple and you want to charge it. So it charges wirelessly and you get out your wireless charger. Ignore that wire for now, but you will put your phone on top of the charger or next to it in order to charge it. And you might wonder, well, how does this really work? Well, let me explain. So there is a thing called electromagnetic induction. Well, that's not really helpful for some of us, so let's explain it in further detail. So let's say you have a magnet, and the magnet has a magnetic field around it, obviously. And besides the magnet, you also happen to have a coil. And you decide to put the coil, the magnet, next to each other, and see what happens. And nothing. So obviously just putting a magnet next to a coil doesn't really do anything. But if you move the magnet just slightly, something occurs. Well, what is it? Well, see, when you move the magnet, you also move the magnetic field with it. And the movement of the magnetic field actually induces or creates a current that passes through the coil. So the reason that when you don't do anything to the magnet, nothing happens is because in order to induce an electric current, the magnetic field actually has to be moving or changing relatively to the coil. Well, you might be thinking, how does this all relate to our wireless charging problem? Well, see, you can think of it as the coil being inside your pineapple. And the magnet is, guess where? In your wireless charger. So the magnetic field in the charger is actually acting upon a coil inside your pineapple, which then transfers the electricity into your battery where it's stored for later use. So this is a scientific overview of how this all works. And don't forget, this whole process is called electromagnetic induction. So where is it applied? Well, it's a cool new feature in some smartphones, but besides that, it's very inefficient, and no one wants to use that. Maybe when technology advances, the efficiency of wireless charging will improve and its usage will spread more widely. One more thing before I leave you. Moving a magnet is not the only way you can induce an electric current in a coil. I'm going to tell you how electromagnets work. Just for fun, of course. I love explaining stuff. So let's say you have a coil, and you also happen to have a battery. And then let's add another coil to this whole assembly. So now you would connect the battery with the coil like so. So an electric current will pass from the battery to the coil, and this will generate a magnetic field around the coil. So actually, the magnetic field of coil 1 will induce an electric current in coil 2 because coil 1 is acting like a magnet. So if you keep disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting, and connecting battery and coil 1, you will actually keep turning on and off the magnetic field of coil 1, which means that it will be changing relatively to coil 2. This actually is kind of like a fake magnet. We call this an electromagnet. And coil 2, which I have currently removed, actually doesn't care whether it's a fake magnet or a real magnet that is inducing a current. Thank you very much. That's all I have for you today.